But yeah, here we're getting into our first interview with the teams, I believe.
Hello.
Hello, Chris.
I
How are you
am
today?
Chris. I'm the team manager of Baguette squad and on the academy team.
Okay, that's great.
Yeah, nice. Can you tell us a little bit about the team?
Yep. So Baguette squad is European based. So we're one of our EU teams in the Stronghold Academy. We have made a few U teams and a few NA teams. I'm not quite sure what else I can say about the introduction. They like baguettes. The reason they named Baguette Squad is because for like the placeholder of their role name, we put like a baguette emoji because I'm French. So, and they were like, okay, well, let's have our name based off baguettes. So yeah, that's it. That's like the small introduction of what I was gonna do.
Okay, so it must be pretty late for those players in EU, but I'm sure they're ready for it. Can you tell us a bit about what we should be looking out for this Baguette team? Are they going to have anything special up their sleeves today?
Ooh, I mean, we have quite an interesting roster. We have a charger player, which is Despair. Their charger is really, really good, so I think you definitely should watch out for that.
Liner, yes.
And also we have another player named Jay, where their stamper is just. I think you should definitely watch out for them. They have like a really aggro playstyle, so they really like to take fights whenever they can, and just in a if they have a good opportunity to take a fight, they're definitely gonna take that fight. And just with their Zipcaster, you never know what to expect, and you have to always keep an eye out.
These can come out of nowhere, sure.
Yeah, exactly. We have the captain of the team, Lynx. He plays Zimmy and Dread. So really interesting options for the team.
Okay.
And I haven't seen much from how like they played it, but I'm really interested in seeing how the team uses those weapons to their advantage during the game. Then we also have Cameron, which plays shot. So just general weapon to help out the team, help with paint, they can still be aggressive, and then just bisque on Octo shot. No, sorry, brush, Octo brush, and her brush is really good. She plays like a similar playstyle to Jay, with like taking opportunities, aggro positioning, just really being kind of the skirmisher of the team. I think that's it. You should definitely, I feel like, watch out for every one of these players. To be honest,
we will definitely do that. Thank you very much for your insight on the team.
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
Yeah, and so that's that interview for that team. And now we're gonna interview the team that they're fighting here. In this really intense match.
All right, so we're going to be drawing in Calamari Damacy into the call, and see what their
That's a
team
good
has
name.
to say. Yeah, so far I'm a big fan of these team names. Sometimes the team names can get a little bit wonky, a little bit tough, but we like it so far. Yeah, so they said Baguette Squad has a charger, a stamper, some shooters. That seems like a solid comp. What do you think, Asect?
Yeah, I'm always excited to see a good stamper player. I really like the weapon myself. It's really hard, but really fun, and always flashy to watch.
Oh yes, it brings home the highlights.
And it does actually. So yeah, and this next interview is actually, unfortunately, the team manager can be here, so it's actually it's going to take the form of a recording. So I guess let's just play that.
Hear that tape? Give it time.
So, Calamari Damacy, when the teams were being made, they kind of tried to group up different similarities, and this kind of ended up as the older group everybody was older than 22, and a lot of them kind of said like, yeah, it's important to me that I associate with people who are a bit older, and that makes sense. The Splatoon community definitely skews younger. Even the older side still, I think, skews relatively younger if we're talking about, how people could be middle-aged or older. But this was the older group, and I think we've been able to spend some time together, be able to connect more, and be able to just learn a little bit more about comp and how to work together in a team. For rivalries, I would say we've really only had a chance to scrim against one other SBA team, but the first scrim was against Palisade Parade, and I would really love and hope to see them play against Palisade Parade again. Be able to see the first time they played against them versus being able to see them hopefully play today. I would really love to see them and be able to compare like the before and the after or the current. So that's one that I would hope to see, and probably the closest rivals they have, at least within the SBA. For anything to look out for, something that I noticed is Bossa. He started out doing some Dually Squelchers and Stamper, but last couple weeks he's really gravitated towards Blaster. So I would expect to see Blaster from Bossa. And so last couple weeks he's really gravitated towards Blaster. So I would expect to see Blaster from Bossa. And then I also know that Suns tends to run Jet Squelcher, and that for Sploopy Soup, they will probably either have Flingza or Explo, but I would probably more likely count on the Flingza. There is some other stuff in there, but they tend to have hung around the things that they're comfortable with, so I would be personally surprised if they were to pull out some of their other weapons from their weapon pool. In terms of how I think they'll do, in my experience, with my team and the teams I'm friends with, first tournaments, just even if you're like on a new team, but first tournaments overall can be rough. But I really want them to do well, and I hope to see them excel in times when they haven't excelled before. But I hope to see them do as well as they can. I don't think anybody is ever obligated to be a better player than they currently are, but I want to see them, give their damnedest, and I hope that they do have a good first tournament. For their name, Calamari Damacy, and it's Splatoon, so it's Calamari Damacy. But this has been a really cool program, and I'm excited for the future of the players and Calamari Damacy, and for the future of SBA. Thank you for giving me a chance to talk and answer some questions.
So that was the interview. That was really nice. Always good to see those interesting weapons. Stamper, Dually Squelchers, both weapons. If you know me, I have played both of those. Blaster as well, very interesting.
Oh yeah.
And the name is amazing. I've got to hand it to them.
Yeah, it was great to hear from another team manager, and it seems like they're the foodie group. A lot of soup leaf and a little sunrise. Very cool. So those are going to be our two opening teams, and we'll hop into that match once all the teams are ready.
All right, thank you for your patience waiting for that. Just a short thing, but we're about to get into the room, about to get these matches started. What do you think, Straw Hat? Are you excited for this set?
Yeah, a lot of players, so it takes a lot more time, but it's a team game, so we're going to see what the teams can bring together here. So they're just getting into the rooms, selecting their weapon loadouts. I'm excited for some specials, to be honest. I know everybody loves the main weapons, but I can't wait to see if we get any long-range Trizuka shots. Something for the fans. How
Yeah,
about you, Esther?
honestly, it's really interesting that Trizuka has taken a bit of a backseat. I feel like the slight startup nerf, people said it wasn't significant, but Zuka did drop off after that.
You feel that?
I think bubble meta, bubble meta, like,
Is surprising but strong. Yeah.
yeah.
All right. So we got the teams here. Baguette Squad versus the Calamaris. What are they starting off with?
Ooh.
Okay, we
Oh.
got a dry stringer. I see.
Stringer and a jet squelcher. That's really interesting.
Yeah, and over on the Calamari side, we got the Ninja Squid with the roller. Let's see what they start off with the initial engagement. It's Splat Zones. You know the name of the game. Paint that.
Yeah, and it looks like Baguette Squad is already making a pretty aggressive play for the right stack, which is really important to hold. The brush is just pressuring that and trying to get that Flingsa off of there.
Yeah, sure.
But both teams are just stalling paint still, and neither has actually capped the zone. We're almost 30 seconds in, and we finally got our first zone cap.
You got that right. Now we're going to see if the Baguette Squad can try and contest back. They got 3 down very quick. Someone's still trying to hold, but it's over to the yellow.
Yes, indeed. And here we see Calamari trying to get their way back in, going in off of the top right, which is a very interesting play here. But it looks like their catcher has actually gone down. But they've managed to get 2 down on Baguette Squad. So this is really dicey, but they managed to cap the zone. And it's just the Stamper left alive trying to defend against the entire team.
He's got his Zipcaster, but can he survive this? Oh, they're fighting!
But the Tetra manages to get that pick here. And they're still continuing this play.
It's the trade, okay. Now we're trying to contest for the zone, but it looks like Calamari. Oh, here comes the Ink Strike!
And that is going to be zone flipped for Baguette Squad, and that's going to be continuing to get picks on Calamari. It is really interesting. Calamari does have a double backline comp, the bow and the Jet Squelcher. It's a really interesting combination, especially with the Flingsa as well, also being a fairly passive weapon, and then the Tetra in there to sort of balance that out. It's a really interesting sort of thing, and I'm curious as to how they actually end up playing this in the games that are like in the match continuing.
Yeah, that bow is going to have to get some kicks if they want to turn it around. They're trying to contest the zone here, but it looks like Baguette Squad has just got enough. But now we're kind of in a 50-50.
And that's going to be the roller going down to the brush as well. 25 points remaining on the clock, and Calamari needs to get their way in. And they need to find something here, and they have found the Dreadringer and the brush with the Tetra flanking behind, getting 2, and using Reef Slider to cap the zone and continuing to force aggression on the Charger.
Pressure on the Charger. They trade, though. That's a nice swing pick. Okay. Still anybody's zone.
And they did manage to cap the zone, which is going to buy them a lot of time, but Baguette Squad is still having a very strong hold on the zone, which they need to push them out if they want to actually...
No, this is our zone.
Ooh, and the Zipcaster going in, trying to get 2, but ends up getting picked off. But the Dreadringer manages to follow up and getting the bow and continuing to move forwards, almost getting another, but just falling just shy of the Charger to follow up.
Yeah, the Charger has a special. Let's see. He's trying to get picks, though. There we go, put it on the zone.
Yeah, and there come those Tri-Strikes coming out. And the zone is just still held in the middle of being capped, and Calamari has gone 2 down, 3 down once again. And that is going to be a wipeout.
Yeah, it's going to help Baguette Squad get that penalty down, but it's still going to give a chance for Calamari to make a final push.
And here comes the Zipcaster. And I just feel like this team has double zip. That's really interesting. But it manages, the Flingsa takes out the Zipcaster. But the Reef Slider!
It finished them off! they couldn't do anything about it. Oh my goodness, the penalty is still ticking down now. We're going to see 1 minute left. Can Calamari turn it around, or is this Baguette's game?
Yeah, Calamari so far has been managing to just barely hold on to the zone, just capping it before the
Throwing
penalty ends.
missiles.
But they have to get their own advantage here, and they have to manage to push the other team out, which is going to be really tricky with a like double backline comp here. But once they can get that foothold, it's going to be very intimidating. So this is still anyone's game, especially with that Tetra going in, getting the Stamper, and the Brush is going down as well. With that Charger lands a shot, picking them off.
30 seconds to go. Can they wipe out the Baguette squad?
Yeah, the penalty is ticking down really quickly here, and they have just barely.
Fail?
Ooh, and they go 3
Very
down,
nice.
and that is going to be it. I don't think they can come back from that.
Fail? Very well done by Baguette squad. Calamari, they were fighting. It was a slosh.
Yeah, that was a very nice game between them. Calamari managed to hold on for a really long time.
Yes, did
They
very
managed to
good.
cap the zone right before the penalty so many times that game, but they still need to make a push of their own and get through their defenses, which they weren't quite able to do that game.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm sure the Baguette squad is glad to get that one out of the way. Mako Mart, always like I said, a slosh. A lot of different angles to come from, those boxes and everything. So it's nice to see those stampers running around, the brushes, trying to make plays, and then a few good picks on the backliners. So a good match all around.
Yeah, definitely an interesting showcase of just how aggressive Baguette Squad's comp is. Double Zipcaster into double backline is really... That seems like it would be very hard to play against, because the Zipcasters just are going to be constantly running in and forcing these backline weapons to fight. And when your comp is that passive, it's going to be really hard to deal with that. And so they need to find a way to adapt around that. Maybe they can use their extra range to like cover each other. So if they zip one, they have to zip both. Definitely, they need to show some adaptation here to this comp in order to take the next game, I think.
For sure. I mean, I'm a tri-stringer player myself. I love the weapon, but I just don't think it was the choice or was the right option in this match. But we'll see for the different map modes. Tower control is probably going to be what we're looking at next. So let's see if they switch up comps, probably for specials. But some people, they're comfortable with what they play.
Yeah, and it is fairly interesting, because I think double zip playing out on Zones Mako, I can see that working, but on TC Inkblot, I think it depends on how they play it, because the objective is a lot more like central, and you need to hold a lot more space for the objective to move. And Zipcaster is not great at holding space, but if they can manage to keep up the disruptions from both of those going in and keep up the picks, I can imagine them getting some cool stuff done with it.
Yeah, because Zipcaster is one of those very mobile specials. It gets in behind the back line or in behind, on these walls that normally can't be accessed. So it gives you a lot of mobility. But I think, if you have two or too many, is it better to switch for another special? We'll see what they can take advantage of. Especially on tower control, we might see some more, like you said earlier, some bubbles to help with the tower pushes. We might see the splat roller, things like that. And then, there might just be the stray Zuka. Who knows?
Though it doesn't seem like either team has a Trizuka weapon. Like they don't have a splatter shot or squeezer or anything. So we might not see any Zukas.
That's true. Yeah, sometimes people are opting for, ink strike on zones, like we saw, and I think that really helped out Baguette squad in the back line. So we'll see how we shape up for match number 2, tower control in Blood Academy.
Yep, going into this next set here. Ooh, an S-Blast.
Okay.
That is really interesting. Oh, and double dually?
Double dualies, yeah.
Double dually X-Flow Squiffer? These comps are very strange.
They're gonna have some
it's gonna be... yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how this plays out.
Yeah, let's see what the initial scramble is like. Oh, the charger goes down on Calamari. And now it looks like Baguette Squad wants to push.
Ooh, but the Zinni getting caught out by the Explo, and but the Dapple getting caught out by the S-Blast. Trades happening left and right here. Chips happening with the Zipcaster following up off the S-Blast. And the Squiffer on the right flank manages, tries to get a pick here, but gets picked off by the S-Blast instead. And here we see the S-Blast going in there, and they have a lot of space in the forward pattern. We just need to see how long they can hold it.
The Booyah
And can they get this first check?
Right in their domain. This is our turf.
Yep, and here we see they have gone 3 down, and just the Explo, and that is going to be an effective wipe. With the Textures just barely respawning, but they did manage to get jump in, but they continued to go down. And here comes the Squiffer getting targeted by that Zipcaster. And this is a very huge snowball here. Calamari needs something to disrupt this play, and they need it fast.
2 down, though, on Baguette Squad. We'll see what they can do, but the Booyah to answer, he's not done.
And we see the S-Blast trying to get more picks, but it looks like Calamari is finally starting to get a foothold. The Squiffer does go down, though, and the Dapples goes down as well. And it is just this Explode based against this push.
Get it done. Oh, yeah, he was trying to distract him. Says, don't hit the tower, hit me.
And here they're all standing on the tower here.
Or the S.
And that's going to be game 2 done.
Game 2, yeah.
In a very decisive victory from Baguette Squad.
Indeed, yeah. Calamari, they tried, but it just too many picks, too fast, and once they had that momentum, no special could help you there.
Yes, indeed. That was...
They didn't even have the time to build up a special. They were getting, shot down right before spawn. That I think that Scope Blaster was probably one of the MVPs there for Baguette Squad. Really harassing them, coming out and not letting them really find any defensive position.
Yes, indeed. And that is going to be, I believe this is a best of 3 set, so that is going to be the set done.
Yep. Baguette Squad, we salute you. Calamari, Damari, we salute you as well. Good games out there. Baguette Squad moves on. Look at that.